Well, welcome to our Module 2 live session. It is 6:30 Central Standard Time, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I realize that people are still coming in, but I want to make sure to respect everyone's time. As we get started, I wanted to do a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Can everybody see the PowerPoint okay too? Perfect. So, you guys at this time, I would like you guys to mute your microphones to cut down on the background noise. You can unmute your microphone at any time to participate in the conversation. You could just simply unmute it and then you could mute it again. So going forward tonight, our agenda looks like this. It's kind of an overview of what tonight's live module will be. We'll get to know each other a little bit better, talk about how the class is going so far, live session, classroom expectations, scoring rubrics, submitting assignments, exploration assignment expectations, APA formatting, state licensing rules, and we'll have time for question and answer time at the end. So I want to share a little bit about myself, and then I'll hear a little bit about each of you guys. So I'm originally from a small farm town in northeastern North Dakota. I graduated from the University of North Dakota with a bachelor's, where I majored in history. I later decided that I had a big passion for ECE, so after graduation, I moved from Grand Forks, North Dakota, where I was living at the time, to where I'm living now, which is in Denver, Colorado, to pursue a career in early childhood education. I've worked for the public and private sectors as a teacher and director for the last 10 years, and also have worked in the public schools as a special para educator. Right now, my current position is an education supervisor for a Head Start program in Denver Metro. I have a passion for working with children and families who are underprivileged. I hope to go back to school one day to pursue my doctoral degree in early childhood development. So that's a little bit about myself. Now I'm going to open it up for conversation and invite each of you guys to introduce yourself. Please share your name, your state, where you reside in, the type of degree you're pursuing, and your favorite toy as a child and why.
Okay, I'm going to go first.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Magdalene de la Cruz Marines. I'm married to a wonderful husband. He's a carpenter. I work for a financial company. The degree that I'm trying to pursue is an associate for now. And I'm from New York. I'm from New York, the Bronx, home of the Yankees. If anyone is familiar with baseball. Yes, and my favorite toys were dolls. But the baby ones. Like I had many baby dolls, and those were my favorite one as a child.
Well, welcome to the course, Magdalene, and thank you for sharing. How is it like to live in New York City?
It's fast. It's really fast. Like I thought that today it was my 6:30 my time, and I was in such a rush to get here. I sent you a couple of emails because I commute to, my commute is like 1 hour and 20 minutes with traffic, and it's crazy. And I carpool, and I also take public transportation once I'm in the city, because where I work, it's Long Island, so that's like really, I have to go to an island in order for me to work, you know, because I'm in the city actually. And it's just, living in New York is crazy, it's expensive, but there's plenty to do. You will never be bored here in New York. There's always something to do, especially in the summertime.
Very nice. I wish to visit one day.
Oh, you should.
So Anita said that I think this is Anita, yep. Anita, microphone is broken, and she lives in Chicago, and she's pursuing an elementary degree starting in early childhood. Favorite toy was a Barbie cash register. She doesn't really know why. She's married with 3 kids. One of her sons has autism, and he's my driving force to complete school. Well, thank you for sharing, Anita. That's very cool that you are going back and pursuing a degree. My brother has autism too as well, so I kind of understand a little bit about that too as well. Well, thank you guys. It looks like it's just you guys right now, Anita and Magdalene. So we're going to just continue on. If anybody decides to join in, we will welcome them too. So, so thank you guys for sharing a little bit about yourself. So checking in, how are things going so far for you guys? Are you guys able to navigate through the course modules, discussions, general course questions, course messages, weekly announcements, resource tabs? How's that going for you guys?
For me, it's a little bit confusing. This is Magdalene. It's a little bit confusing because, I don't know, I went to Kaplan University, and how their courses are set up, it's a little bit, their website, it's more simple. Here I find myself like going through a lot of things just to get to one thing, but it just takes time for me to get used to it. I know I'm gonna get the hang of it.
Sure. You know, my biggest suggestion is to practice and play around with Blackboard. If you're not familiar with it, sometimes our best teacher is ourselves. So I do encourage you guys to just browse around and look and see. And if you guys have questions, you know, just email me. You guys could text me, whatever works for you guys. I'm usually pretty responsive off text, pretty responsive with emails too. I try to get back to you guys right away. So the college policy says 48 hours. I like to make sure that I'm communicating with my students usually daily, because I know it's really important, and people have lives, and you know, like Magdalene, like you said, you're busy. I mean, you live in New York City, so it's constantly a little chaotic, but yeah. So
yeah,
my response. Go ahead.
I kind of find the website that is a little bit too slow for me. Like, I'm more used to things that are fast, so I feel that to get to one point, I think I have to make too many steps on the website. But like you said, it takes practice, and that's actually what I'm doing.
That's awesome to hear. You know, just keep practicing. That's the biggest thing. And, you know, if you don't know something, ask. I mean, that's the biggest one of the biggest things. If you don't know, ask, and you know, if I don't know the answer, I will find it for you. So, so yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna move on a little bit. What our live classroom session expectations are. It's expected that you make every effort to attend each live session and participate. So I appreciate you all taking time to be part of tonight's live session. If you ever cannot attend a live session, you will need to view the video in the live session discussion forum and respond to the posted questions to earn full points. So if you are present at our live session, you are expected to contribute to the class conversation in order to receive full credit. It looks like Alicia just came on. Hi, Alicia. How are you? Does anybody have any questions regarding live classroom session expectations? All right. Nobody has...
I have a, hello?
Go ahead, Magdalene.
I have a question regarding the APA style.
Yeah, and we'll go over, Magdalene, the APA style a little bit later on.
Okay.
I believe that is a couple slides down, and I'll just give you a little bit more information about that. So, so in the live classroom, there will be 3 live classroom sessions that I will lead to expand on your guys' learning. So it'll be this week on the 14th, and then it will be on the 28th of February, and then I believe the last one will be, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have a calendar in front of me, will be at March 7th. Hopefully I said that right, because I don't have a calendar in front of me. So it'll be week 2, week 4, and week 5. And the live classes will be at 6:30 every time. It will be Central Standard Time. So I know we have people from, like Magdalene is from New York. I think there was somebody else who was from Hawaii. So there's multiple time zones. So we're just going to go with the Central Standard Time to try to accommodate to everyone in the classroom. Does that make sense? All right. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to move on to the scoring rubrics. So all assignments are graded based on a rubric. I want to make sure you all know how to access the rubric so you can make sure you meet all of the criteria before submitting an assignment. To view a rubric for each assignment, click on the assignment title under the assignment tab in each module. Towards the upper left side, you will see a box with the total points possible listed. In that box under the total points, there will be a button that says View Rubric. By clicking on that button, a new window will open with the scoring rubric. Please use the rubrics to your advantage to ensure you receive the most points possible for each assignment that you do. Please note that there is no rubric attached for discussions, but however, you do create a substantial post that answers the prompt questions and respond to any question I ask you, and respond to at least one peer with a concise paragraph to extend their learning, and then you should probably receive full credit. I really encourage you guys to write more than 1 or 2 sentences. I'd like you to, at least write a paragraph in order to get your full points. Does anyone have any questions on scoring rubrics? So Magdalene asks, do we need to use citations for the discussions? You only need to use citations for discussions if it's directly quoted. So if you quote something from the book, yeah, you'd probably need like a citation for that. And then we could go over what that means with APA format. But it's pretty simple. Just, like I said earlier, you're almost your best learner, so, use those resource tabs as a guide for you guys to explore and find what you need to do the citations and for the discussion if you do that, or for any paper for that matter. All right. Anything else? All right. Moving on. Submitting assignments. Just want to take a moment to review assignment submission. In order to submit an assignment, click on the assignment title under the assignment tab in each module, scroll down towards the bottom, and select the file from your computer that you would like to submit. Select open. Be sure to click the submit button once you have uploaded your assignment. This is kind of big. Please note that 10% of the total points possible will be deducted for each day that an assignment is late. You can see your course calendar for all due dates. Does anybody have any questions for submitting assignments? So Anita asked, is there a certain way we should label and name the document when we are turning it in? Not necessarily, whatever the actual topic is. So if it's like, I don't know, written assignment 1, you could just put written assignment 1. And then for like APA format, I'll go over that a little bit with you later, because there needs to be the title, the college, the name, and then the day it's submitted on. Anybody else have any questions? All right. We'll keep going. The next thing I want to go over are the exploration assignments expectations, and the key areas of focus. So in module 2 through 6, you will submit exploration assignments. This assignment is due by 11:59 Central Standard Time on Sundays. In this assignment, you will view several videos and answer 3 open-ended questions about the videos. Please take time to thoroughly read the instruction and review the rubric, as you will have the same format exploration assignments each week, with different videos each week. The biggest error that I see students make on the assignment is not providing an aha moment in question 3. In this question, I'm not looking for your favorite part of the video or what you liked. I just want you to share a new perspective or an insight you gained from the video. Your answer to each question should be at least a paragraph long with specific reference to the videos. This is an opportunity to practice your observation skills as well as apply the book knowledge you're learning in the course into the everyday classroom experience. Each week, you will have a different key area of focus that will be presented in the videos and that you will reflect upon. This week, you will be looking at the developmentally appropriate practices. So the little key that I'm showing over here is just kind of what you're going to be learning each week. So this week is developmentally appropriate practices. Next week, individually appropriate practices, and so on. So do you guys have any questions with the exploration assignment expectations? It's a lot of information to cover right away, but just want to make sure that everybody is clear on the expectations and the assignments, because I know a lot of you guys are new to this program, so I just want to make sure that everybody is, I'm not setting you guys up to fail, I want to make sure that you guys are getting the most you can out of this. All right. If nobody has any questions, I'm going to move on to the APA guide. I know we had some questions about that, so hopefully I could make sure that this gets a little bit clearer. So the APA guide for School of Education, to ensure that consistency and precision for students and instructors, Rasmussen has chosen the APA style as the standard documentation and citation style to be used in all courses. The APA style provides clear references and text and at the end of the document. So by using the APA as the common style in our classes and assignments, Rasmussen seeks to streamline the documentation component of the information literacy process. If you are unfamiliar with APA guidelines, you can check out the APA guide in Blackboard from the home page. You click on the far right tab on the top of your screen that says resources. In the center column, you will see library resources, and then the fourth link down says APA guide. Click on that link and it will open up Rasmussen APA Reference Center that has all the information you need on APA formatting. You can use the menu on the left side of the screen to jump to the specific APA formatting information that you need. So everything that you need is right there. If you take some time and actually look at that, you could see what references and how everything is set up for the formatting process. just note when you guys are submitting assignments that require a title page. So if you are submitting like a written assignment, you might need a title page. And what I'm looking for a title page, when it says a title page, it says, like, if you look on the rubric might say one page that's like a separate page from everything else. And like I said, APA format is it's a little specific, so it'll be like your name, your date, the college. I can't think of it right off the top of my head, and then the date that you submitted it on, and who your professor is. But all that information is there for you. Magdalene is asking a question. Do you provide a template for some assignments? If I see a common misconception, so if students are not understanding what the assignment is, or they're submitting it incorrectly, what I usually do in the next live session, or even with my feedback, is I will provide a template just so you guys could look at for your reference. I believe in Module 4, I may be doing something with a template revolving APA, so it's more understandable for everybody. But yeah, that's why I just really encourage you to look at that APA format. Excuse me. So does anybody have any other questions before we jump into our lesson? All right. Nobody has any questions. I am going to move on. So kind of a follow-up from the whole child animation lecture. So there was an activity in your lesson content folder. I don't know how many of you guys got to this, but where you can see how the domains functions together. You're supposed to read about the whole child on the first slide, and then click the arrow button on the right side of the slideshow to go to the next slide. Early childhood educators and advocates must view children from a holistic perspective. Children function and learn in multiple developmental domains. The concept of the whole child is extremely important in early childhood education. Did you guys have any takeaways from the early childhood animation activity? Was everybody able to do the activity? So is there anything that you could take away from it, Magdalene? So Magdalene said that one takeaway is that children learn best when they have secure relationships, and you're exactly right, and that's the key to success in early childhood education. There are several domains that, every individual needs to learn and grow. these questions, what's your strongest domain? With children too, and adults, they have one or two domains that they excel naturally in. I excel at emotional development. At each age and stage, children develop a new skill set in each domain. And as educators, it's important that we include all the domains in our teaching practices in order to help the whole child develop. Although educators normally tend to focus on cognitive or intellectual development, every other area, such as physical and social development, is equally important, especially when working with young children, because each skill kind of goes hand in hand. For example, a child who excels intellectually might not struggle with learning new concepts, sorting letters, sounds, etc., but they might have trouble making friends. So that's why it's like really, really imperative for us as educators in early childhood education to focus on the whole child and provide opportunities for children who struggle with different developmental domains. And, securing those relationships that Magdalene said earlier is really, really, it's really, really important to do, because without them having that trust and feeling safe, they can't learn. So, being emotionally and socially aware of that is huge in securing relationships and, learning to develop other skills. So, with that having said, children do learn in a variety of ways. What's your guys' strongest domain? What's your most challenging domain? And how does the concept of whole child fit your knowledge with ECE, and how do you support each child's growth and development? I would like to hear from you guys. So, Alicia, you said that you work one-on-one with the child. Can you elaborate a little bit more of what that looks like? Is there anything that you guys struggle with for your domains? For me, um, socially, I'm by nature an introvert. Um, it takes me a while to warm up to people, but after being around people and, you know, securing that relationship, um, I feel like I become a little bit more outgoing once I know the person. So yeah, see that Nia said that she struggles with trust in making relationships with people, and she's trying to change that, and that's awesome. And yeah, I mean, for me, I struggle with trying to get to know people, um, and I'm really shy until I actually get to know somebody. But you know, not everybody's like that, but there are some people that are like that. And for me, I used to do on. I was also an online student for me, um, because it was hard for me to communicate with people in a live, actual classroom concept, and doing public speaking and doing um, stuff that would just make me really, really nervous, and I would stutter over my own words and would start sweating. So um, that's kind of one of the reasons why I chose an online path too, is because that's, I feel like, and it also was flexible with my schedule too. Um, so yeah. So Magdalene said it takes a while to for her to warm up to people, but once she gets to know people, she establishes strong relationships. Um, with you, it's hard to break. I might seem mean, but I just don't want to let everyone in my circle. That's I get it. Kind of funny that all three of you guys are kind of all the same, and you know, you guys are all different because you're all different people, but you kind of have that similarity, common trait too. Um, is there anything else um, you guys want to share with the follow up from the whole child animation lecture? And you guys can use the chat box. I know Anita said that her microphone's broken. If you guys want to speak, I would love to hear your voice. Uh, but you know, if you want to use the chat too, it's complete. That's why it's there. So whatever works best for you guys. So if nobody has any other questions or anything else, I'm going to move on. So, state licensing rules and regulations, they're critical to child safety. I just want to share with you a licensing regulation. I want you all to share a licensing regulation in your state that stood out to you. I could share one that we have in Colorado. In Colorado, one regulation that stands out to me is the child ratios. I personally think that child ratios are too high and to provide individualized quality care and attention. Our infant ratio is the highest in the nation, which I believe proves that it's inadequate. Do you think your guys' ratio is effective and best practice? And what are some of state licensing regulations that stand out to you? So just a little list just to let you guys know that in the state of Colorado, we have licensing regulations for 6 weeks to 18 months, which is 1 staff member to 5 infants, which is still the same at 12 months to 36 months. Once they get to be 2 years old to 36 months or 1 year, it's 1 staff member to 7 toddlers. And then from 2.5 years to 3 years is a 1:8 ratio. 3 years to 4 years is a 1:10 ratio. 4 to 5 years is a 1:12 ratio, and then 5 years and older is 1 staff to 15 children. Mixed age groups are 2.5 years to 6 years. The one thing that I really struggle with is infant care in the state of Colorado. We have that 1 staff member to 5 infant ratio, and I feel like the quality of care cannot be at its best. I have worked at, like I said earlier, the public and the private sectors, private companies where it was more, the center is more money driven, so they have a bunch of kids and a bunch of infants in these rooms, and you have 10 babies and you have 2 teachers, and I just feel like that's just not best practice for children, best practice for anybody. I would just like to hear what you guys think about state licensing rules and anything that has stood out to you. So Anita said that it's the same way in Illinois. School age ratio is 1 to 30. That is a lot. Do you have, Anita, do you have any help at all in your school age classroom? So Alicia said that the ratio in DC is 1 to 4 infants, which I think is a lot better than 1 to 5 infants, but it's still, I believe, pretty high. Is there anything else that stood out besides ratios? Anything that you think is not best practice? There's some good conversation going on in the chat. I really like to see your guys' input. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Alicia, with Magdalene about the ratio in Georgia as well. So Anita, in your comments, what would you suggest? And with your situation too, Anita, that's why I think we should have a lower ratio with the infant room across all states because of the severity of things that could happen like that. I do thank you for sharing your story. Anybody have any other insights about putting babies on their tummies to sleep, putting them on their backs? Yeah, sometimes it's the best practice is to put them on their back, but sometimes that's not realistic because at home mom and dad do something completely different, which I agree they shouldn't, but every parent has their preference and they are the first teacher for their children. So as we wrap up, thank you for the conversation. That was a pretty rich conversation. Looking at, we concluded the first live session. I just want to take a moment to allow you guys to share if you guys have any questions. What do you guys have any questions about any of the stuff presented? I will be, since Alicia, Anita, and Magdalene, you were here, you don't have to do anything else to get full points. I will enter your full points tonight, and I will post this live session to your peers. So yeah, this is any questions that you may have, let me know. So if you guys don't have any questions or anything, we will end this live session. If you have any questions or anything that you need clarification on, let me know. If not, happy Valentine's Day. Have a great night, and I will talk to you in the next week.
Happy Valentine's Day. Talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.